Well, here we go again. What's that, September 1st, 2021? Tonight, I'm praying for those that live in Annapolis. I'm sure everybody knows what that is. Major flooding in New York City. Word is evacuations. Crazy times, folks. I do have a few friends, mostly online, because nobody calls me because I don't get my phone number out. So when somebody calls me, it's like, hola, ¿cómo está? Or, chistina, huh? Or, we have a bad connection. So anyway, this is not funny at all. I have a few friends that I send them updates and what I think is getting ready to happen in the next 24 hours, and they think I've suffered some traumatic shock somewhere in my life. Well, actually, I did. Woo! Pink hat, blue hat. Grab my. See. Actually, it was my toe. Do you know that babies can actually suck on their feet? Means they stick their foot in their mouth. Do you know that some 7 to 8-year-old politicians who return to their youth can insert their foot in their mouth? And even though they're got a thing in their ear, I know this from my dad, and they're getting, don't say that, stick to the script. Somehow, some prion, don't get me started on that word. Something about their independence. And guess where I'm from? That's why Uncle Joe sometimes gets off the script. And I just don't know. But I tell you, for the first time in history, I used to be a wannabe hippie, but I didn't really want to be because I'm kind of a straight, patriotic guy that went to school behind Harry Truman's house. But the Great Divide going that way is called the Great Sierra Mountains going that way. And for the first time in history, as far as we know, because we've only been here a couple, 300 years, although some of us may have a little bit of Native American in us. For the first time, it made a run on South Lake Tahoe, and it's in Nevada. And as far as I see, unless somebody sends a lot of rain, a lot of water, I don't know, if I was in New York City right now, I take all that water over to Lake Tahoe. If I was in New Orleans, and if anybody ever decides to call me on this, they can. uh, 200 miles of electrical cables off that main transformer fell into the Mississippi. No wonder they shut off electricity. Were they trying to take out the Cajun Navy? Can you imagine all the fish floating up to the top? Well, I don't know what else to say. Except it's September 1st. And most everybody is expecting something to happen in the next 10 days. Me? I heard I was supposed to pray for somebody, and I'm going to do it like Hilly does. As we know them by their names, we pray for all. We believe there is a better place waiting for us. But, as I said yesterday, a lot of people put up with a lot of stuff with the 2-year-olds and the twosomes that usually last 2 to 3 to 5 years. Well, I guess thought I'd get on for a second. Just to see if I get more than 3 views. So anyway, it is a serious time. And there's plenty of prepper channels out there. Personally, for me, I did contact a couple people who you can go back, because you can go to YouTube on my channel and you go from oldest to newest. And I sent them a message, and almost every one of them said this: I've been too busy to pay attention. I don't know, I'm just running around all the time doing stuff. Okay, your car's underwater. You're not used to, like me, because I cook all my own meals, because, oh, push him out. I like my food. I always have something. 2-3 days in advance. Then I can eat cold out of the refrigerator. And then I got beef jerky, rice, because you got to boil water. I still haven't bought a K-cup machine yet. But I do have an old aluminum percolator. But I don't percolate it. I just use it to heat water. So I think these things, in spite of Lance Wallno, which I met him once. Oh. And the other guy I think we're supposed to pray for, because he's going down the same road my dad did, but they said the same basic lifestyles. Should I say that? Me, I was always an athlete. Freaked my family out when they did all of this to make it be the biggest, happy, chubbiest little baby in the world. And in 6th grade, we had to run the 440. By the time I got out of college, I could run the 440 in 4 minutes. But in the 6th grade, it was such an embarrassment. I don't know. It took a long time. As a matter of fact, everybody just gave up and shook their head and started walking back to the high school because at that time we didn't have a gymnasium. But by the time I was 4 years older, had dropped the weight, and could run a 440 in 4 minutes, and could climb up a rope and tap the I-beam and then slide down on my tennis shoes with my hands just kind of guiding me. It actually opened doors for me. And I doubt that anybody my age is even interested in hearing this, but maybe someday in the future, some young, I don't even know what to call them, millenniums. It's like all the variants. We're at Lambda Chi. I had to learn that, you know. Pi, Kappa, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Gamma. Oops. Well, you get the point of the story. Don't give up. Serious time. Evacuations. And I might possibly suggest on September 7th, since I don't have anybody waking me up in the middle of the night saying, Bob, what did you just get? I want to write it down. I don't have my phone ringing. Bob, it's midnight. What did you just get? Well, that's called the shepherd's rod. Brought to you under a different name. I think it's going to be called the Daily Updates. All right. Love you all. Thanks for following, and I think all 3 of you that are going to watch this video between now and tomorrow night.